I didn't know what it was actually, and apparently, Paul, I have somewhere in my library here. I have a record of jingles that
Uh-huh.
Paul made up for the record ram. You know, little TV commercials, radio jingles, and stuff. And it was just him. He and Linda probably just fooling around one day after we were let go. The band was let go. Me and Dave, or me and Dewey. So he was just fooling around. He had a floor tom tom and a foot stomp and a ukulele and some others. And he just made up this thing, which I thought was brilliant. But there's two versions of Ram on the album, and I don't play on those. But they were done. A dear friend of ours, geez, what's his name now?
Nick Bertling.
Yes, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick. I met Nick in Chicago. I was doing a clinic at the Chicago Drum Show, and Nick helped me out with some Zildjian cymbals that I needed to perform my clinic there, and got to be friends with him. He's a great guy and a good musician.
He's a great guy, amazing guy, and
Yeah.
I got to play with him with the Naz actually recently. He was the drummer for that. But yeah, Nick is incredible, and he actually covered Ramon for a covers record that he did, and that was the basis of the tracks from this version. And I had talked to my friend Pat Sansone of Wilco, and he had requested to sing this song.
Okay.
And he sings the most passionate vocal. I mean, it sounds great. Jody Quine from Canada did the backup vocal, did the girl parts, and then a very funny thing happened. It turns out that Pat and Nick, both of them cannot whistle. I cannot whistle, so I brought in my favorite whistler in the world, which is Sam Babayan from the Dirty Diamond, to come in and whistle on the track. And we found out that the whistling on this track is above the usual range, so we had to slow down the tape to record his vocal to hit the high. And it sounds exactly like the original, because I have no doubt that Paul slowed down the tape to get his whistle to sound up there. So it sounds really cool. It's a great track. And in many ways...
One second, though. You really kicked off a thought in my head here when you mentioned passion. I think I want to go back and revisit this, because talk about passion in the original album. Paul was just breaking up with the Beatles. There was some serious difficulties with their business side and Alan Quine and all this. And Paul, for the sake of the band, the little bit that I knew about it, had to do something that had to be done, or they would have lost everything. So he had to stick to his guns. So that passion, he went to Scotland and he just hung out at the farm up there. And it was Linda that kicked his butt and said, "Come on, man, you're a songwriter, you're a musician. We have to go make music. That's what you do." He was really hurting, so he brought all that passion with him. And all of those songs were written with that passion and performed with that passion. So it was so easy for us to feel it. The vibe that was coming off of him was so, you couldn't miss it. You couldn't miss it.
It's a beautiful record. I mean, it's a record. The amount of passion, not only in the vocals, but in every instrument. It's just so well performed and so well put together.
And hence
nobody's phony.
Now we got a world pandemic and a lockdown. There's a lot of hurting people out there. So we brought the same different passion to this re-recording of the Ram album. There is that element of passion. So when you brought it up, I thought, let's throw that in.
No, that's definitely an important factor of this, because there was a lot of people that were going through some serious stuff. We even had a few people that had COVID while recording the record. So,
a lead singer, Brentley Gore, who sang on Back to My Car. He got positive test the night before. He got up in the morning and he sang his parts before he got sick.
But luckily, everybody recovered and everybody's in a good place right now and vaccinated, and we're getting towards the ability of doing something really cool, which is maybe performing this album live. So we'll see how that goes. But I mean, the whole making of the record, there were so many great moments where, man, you hear the vocal and you hear the passion. And Pat Sansone's vocal on Ram On is just absolutely gorgeous. So this is Ram On, the title track, which, by the way, I hear stories that maybe it was influenced by Paul Ramone. No, by Phil Ramone.
Phil Ramone. I don't know about that.
That's okay. No worries.
Phil was wonderful, though. I must say, Paul called me up and, we went on after I was done with the project. I went on about doing sessions and stuff like that, because my part's recorded. He called me up one day. He said, "Come down to 799 A&R. They're doing the sweetening sessions, which is the orchestra, the horns, and the strings for the record we just did." And I said, "Oh, I'd love to." And that was Phil Ramone recording and producing that.
Wow.
And George Martin's charts and everything. So I walked out there, and all my buddies are in the room, the guys that I'd see every other day on sessions, And Paul's in there, and he's spending an inordinate amount of time tuning up the orchestra. And they're all looking at each other like, "What's the matter with this guy? We this is the David Nadian string section and the best horn section in the planet. And why is he spending all this time tuning us a little kind of weird?" And they heard the first playback, and it sounded like the London Symphony Orchestra. It was, what a trip it was, and they were all amazed. This man has some innate musicianship that's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And I'm so proud to have been a part of it.
Take one.
Okay. Ramon, give your heart to somebody soon, right away, right away. Ramon, give your heart to somebody soon, right away, right away. Ramon, give your heart to somebody soon, right away, right away. Ramon,